What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And with the lawsuit against Stellantis in New York, profits down, stock price consistently sliding, and brands not making money, Carlos Tavares is going to have to make some hard choices here. And it's why I think Chrysler and Dodge, as I've said before, are going to go to a company called BYD. Not only would they go to BYD, but BYD could be the solution. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a BYD fan. I'm not happy about any foreign companies owning American legacy brands. That'd be like them buying Boeing or Lockheed Martin. Never would happen. That said, I think when BYD does get their hands on Chrysler or Dodge, the price wars, yeah, they begin.
For the longest time, whoa, for the longest.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, represent, gotta represent.
Well, guys, welcome on back to TK's Garage. Boy, it's been a day. With some of the recent developments of it's no longer an investigation and Stellantis actually being sued, the stock price getting a beating even further, board members rumbling now where Carlos Tavares is possibly on the hot seat, meaning the board members don't want them to look at them. They will make Carlos Tavares fall on the sword, take the L and his golden parachute, and go home. But before he does so, I think we're going to see some drastic changes at Stellantis. I think we're going to see Chrysler and Dodge together, just those two, not Ram, not Jeep, unfortunately, split off from the brand and go to a company called BYD, Build Your Dreams. Now, this is a Chinese company which some people say is invested in by the Chinese Communist Party. I can't say if it is or if it isn't. What we're talking about in today's video is if BYD gets their foot in the door, if Stellantis sells, and we know that they already are cool with the Chinese with the deal that they've done with Leap Motor. So they're already selling Chinese cars in Europe. Now, could Stellantis fully divest themselves of Dodge and Chrysler? Most likely, it will be like an 80%, 20% split, where BYD owns 80% of these companies, and Stellantis is still going to keep a piece. I think that's the only way legally they get this done, because I don't think they're going to get it done completely before the election. And depending on what party's in power, that might not happen. So, by keeping the investment, some investment by the parent company Stellantis, kind of negates that, right? Allows BYD to get their foot in the door. Now, what happens when they get their foot in the door? Well, BYD sells a car, and I see it in the comments, guys. I'm not saying they make great products or that they have great quality. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about price. They're selling an EV called the Seagull right now for $11,000. And when you look at what it looks like in that car, yeah, it's small. It's a little EV with maybe 200 miles of range. Think a BMW i3 with no wrecks. Just a BMW i3. You could buy one of those used right now for like $8 to $9 grand. That's why they're doing this. People are buying the shit out of those, not knowing that, as a BMW guy, I can be honest, unless you know how to work on them and you're good with Beamer code and all the other stuff like I am, that's a disaster. And you're going to spend a lot of time at the dealer. And those battery packs and those i3s, whoo, boy, they're expensive. So you might buy a BMW i3 for $8 grand and then spend 15 grand on a battery pack. Congratulations, you played yourself. But BYD comes to market and they do a Hyundai, Kia. And they 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty that sucker. And can they sell it for 11 grand here? Probably not. Labor's going to be more money, logistics, things of that nature. But what if they sell that car for $14,999? Damn. They dropped the price on the Charger RT, which is right now $60,000 before the dealer markup and all the other miscellaneous bullshit. But they come into the market and they take that Charger RT and they start selling it for $28,000. They take that Scat Pack and they're selling it for $36,000. Now, Tesla, we have a problem. Now you have a vehicle that has range. If they could figure out charging network, which Tesla would be absolutely stupid to give them that access, but who knows? At that point, now you have a company that does electric cars that's competitive. And you know what you do with the gas one, the inline six, the six-pack, if the engines aren't consistently grenading like they do in the Rams and the Jeeps now? Then you take that six-pack Charger and you make that the most expensive version you sell before the Banshee. So now you're at, $37,500 for the inline six version. People will buy that. And if you sell the Banshee for $42,000 and you can beat a Tesla Model Plaid and it's electric, yeah, that's how you turn Dodge and Chrysler around. And I see, and I'm not, and look, I'm just looking at the analytics, right? I'm doing the analysis of it. As somebody that's done intelligence for 20 years, we look at, I don't even want to call them enemies, but we look at our opponents in the field, right? Other governments, other militaries, other intelligence agencies, and we check out where they're at, what their position is, what assets they may have in the areas that we operate, and then we formulate a game plan to succeed and move forward with our goals as a country, right? Or an agency or a branch of the military. It's all the same. And I see BYD doing the same thing. I see them coming in and starting the price war. Because I'm telling you right now, they come in here and they call that Seagull, whatever, Dodge Dart, Dodge Neon, whatever. And they drop that sucker here in America for 15 grand. Bumper to bumper warranty, 100,000 miles, 200 miles of range. Yeah, people are buying them all friggin' day they are. Hell yes, they are. You drop the price of that Charger to, $28,500. Guess what? Them things are going to sell. $60,000? F no. Not happening. Sorry. You put out an electric truck that's around that same range, 30 grand, 35 grand, people are going to buy them. 100%. 100 grand? No. Absolutely not. And Stellantis is looking at $115,000 starting price on their EV Ram. They're out of their friggin' minds. But this is one of the benefits, though, of another company coming in and cutting the knees out from everybody else. Because this is what happens. BYD comes in and they take over Chrysler and Dodge with, some influence from Stellantis. And then they're sharing technology and Stellantis is benefiting. Stock goes up. Stellantis is going to win in that scenario. And it makes everybody else also have to cut their prices. Those Mustang Mach-E's, 50% off. Teslas, 30, 40% off more, which apps you guys that have already bought Teslas. I already know. Ram truck comes out with BYD Insight, and they don't launch it at $115,000, and that sucker's 35 grand or 40 grand fully loaded. Yeah, Cybertruck, we got a problem. People are going to buy it. So I wanted to talk about that because people said, well, how do you see a path forward for BYD in the United States? That's it. They don't have to fully buy Chrysler and Dodge, but they will split them off and make them a division of BYD. Stellantis will keep some investment, similar to the deal that was on the table with Ferrari and Maserati before Exor, the major investor in both of those companies, went, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because they were going to just sell Maserati off. And Exor was like, absolutely not. No, sir. We're not doing that. But there's so much drama right now and so much risk between the lawsuit, dealers ending franchise agreements, meaning Stellantis has to buy, right now, it's hundreds of millions of dollars of vehicles back. What happens when it becomes billions? Can you say bankruptcy? That's why this is happening. Let me know what you think about my assessment in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.